We are at the Traders Market in Louisville, Kentucky, and I am fortunate to have with me Scott Parker, who is the executive director of NAWLA, and Laurel Byrd, who is
Traders Market chair.
she's the Traders Market chair, but more importantly, on a day in and day out basis, works for RoyOMartin, and you are the leader of the sales crew,
The director of panel sales and solid wood.
director of panel sales and solid wood. And we've wrapped up. It is about quarter after 11. We got 45 minutes left of the Traders Market, and we're just doing a quick little recap to say what we saw. So first, thank you so much for coming on board. But how was the Traders Market for you guys? I have an opinion. It's pretty good, but how was
It
it
was
for you guys?
phenomenal. It really was. It was great to be back together in person.
Yep.
But the Traders Market is more than a NAWLA is more than an organization. It's an opportunity, and I think people have the reception's been great. Everybody's happy. They are positive and appreciative that we did it in person.
Oh, I'm so appreciative. Trying to launch this company and not being able to actually
Get out and meet.
I can tell you, I changed the mind of a person just half an hour ago because we were talking in person. He's like, I never looked at it like that before. And people hear you differently when you are talking with them as opposed to Zoom.
It's been a really great market. We've been doing this for a long time, and obviously we've been through a tremendous challenge in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
But the people who are here loved being here.
Yep, for sure. Scott, how'd everything go with the Traders Market? My interpretation was pretty smooth.
Yeah, it was. We're just so happy with the people who are here. We're so glad to be here. One of the things I've learned about NAWLA 3.5 years in is NAWLA is more than this. It's a family. Like you were saying earlier, Lori, it really is. And when I had the opportunity to interview for the job with the executive committee at the time, they all talked about if the person for this job has to be part of the family. We want to be part of the family. And I saw it from day one, and I saw it today in our kind of great reopening again after being away at least face to face for 18 months, and it's great. You can feel the energy and the momentum in the room.
So 3 years in, right? How is the industry different than you anticipated?
Completely different. Technology, absolutely a big part.
Yeah.
I came in outside of the lumber industry. I have a background in running trade associations, so I got to learning the people first mindset of NAWLA makes it really stand out.
Yeah.
Is the relationships, and to see it over and over and over, and to hear it over and over and over. But also, we were apart for 18 months, but in some ways maybe we didn't miss a meet. When we saw each other in the hallway here.
Oh, that's the way it totally feels.
Like, I'm so glad to see you.
You run into someone, and it's like you were talking to them just yesterday.
Yeah, and maybe we had our conversation got paused for 18 months, but we picked up right back where we were in many ways. So
let's just talk about the state of the industry right now. There is, everybody talks about a labor issue, and maybe I joke our industry could be pale, male, and stale. But Lori, you've been in the industry for a long time.
A very long time.
And
longer than you've been here.
You are a woman.
I am.
What has it been like being a woman in the lumber industry for as long as you have?
Over 40 years.
Okay, over 40 years, yes.
Things have changed.
Okay.
There are more women in the industry. It's still male dominated. It may always be, but women are more than welcome in the industry. They're encouraged in the industry. I think each company is recruiting women, not so they can be diverse, but because women belong in the industry. They understand that women can answer the question. They can sell the product. They can buy the product. They know the product.
You know what else? They give a different answer to the question than a man. And it's a different perspective. Absolutely. So speaking of that, do you feel like you have an advantage?
I do.
Okay.
I think that I started with an advantage because when I started, there were very few.
Right.
But if you give somebody, a male or female, an honest answer, and if you tell them you don't know, this industry will help you learn it.
Yeah.
They want you to grow in the industry. So yeah, I think women do have an advantage, and I think I think a lot of people view women as working harder. in this industry.
You probably have a
Because
little
there's
chip
something-
on your shoulder, for sure.
No, but I think that you just have to be willing to prove that you know it. You don't use being a woman, but you still have an advantage.
You don't ignore it.
No, you don't ignore it, but you don't exploit it.
Got it. Now, Scott, NAWLA has mostly female staff.
Yeah, predominantly our staff is male.
Female.
Weird to edit this, right?
Yes, that's fine. It's female,
Yeah,
so it's
yes,
predominantly female.
Yeah, our staff is certainly predominantly female. The team has been with NAWLA, on average, our staff probably 5 to 6 years, so they know the group really well. They know the characters that we bring together, and it helps us put on events.
I mean, and
because they understand.
People that started out working for NAWLA end up somehow in the industry too.
That has happened before, yeah, absolutely. Mark Sirocco, who had my job before, he was NAWLA's executive director for 7 years or so, 5 to 7 years. Had some changes in life with his wife moving in that, and was able to work for one of our members. So great, really, really unique to see that.
All right, so let's bring it to the current day and moving forward. What's the industry going to face this next year? A lot of happy people. People made money this year.
It was a very profitable year for our industry.
We've already seen that money get put back into shareholders' pockets, number one. But even private companies doing upgrades, and I think there's going to be some really cool innovations coming out.
In this industry, you have to continue to grow. You can't run a sawmill that you built 60 years ago without putting some upgrades in it.
And RoyOMartin just has a new mill opening, right?
We are building a new OSB plant in Corrigan, Texas.
And it's going to be a monster, right?
It is. It's going to be as big as the one that's already there.
Wow, that's exciting. And
it is exciting.
We need it. We need the product. We've proven it this year.
We do.
But
we also need the labor force to put it into the field.
And what I've seen at some of the other shows that I've gone to, and actually you hear about it here, is the cool technologies that are going in at sawmills to make better production in sawmills, but even on job sites where you get more production out of the workers.
Right.
So yeah, that's what excites me, obviously. Speaking of technology moving forward, before we started the call, you were saying how much your little team gets done. It's a 6-person team, correct?
It is a 6-person team.
And you're moving 1,000 trucks a week.
Easy.
That's a lot of trucks.
It is a lot of trucks, and when Oregon comes on, we'll bump up to about 1,600.
So, looking back a little bit, obviously, over the 40 years you've been in the industry, you've seen some massive changes.
I have. When I started, we didn't have email. We didn't have an internet. We had a pencil and paper and a telephone. And you paid for long distance calls.
Yeah, paid for long distance. Oh my God, the phone bill.
Yes, the phone bill.
How about that? What do you think of today's technology? You like it compared to?
You have to embrace it because you can't sell what you do. You can't buy what you do with the staffs that we have. 40 years ago, the staff for a sales floor was probably 40 to 50 people.
Right.
Now it's probably 10. But it's still a relationship-built industry. Sure. You can't take the people out. The technology is an asset. It's a tool. And it will continue to be, and it will continue to evolve like everything else. The cell phone changed the world, literally.
We heard that yesterday in the keynote luncheon.
Absolutely.
The cell phone changed the world. Absolutely.
Well,
this is how we interact, right?
I never picked up a booklet for the show because I have the app.
Yeah,
for the show.
the app. That's exactly
I can find everybody wherever they are. So, yeah, it's embracing technology for what it is and acknowledging what it isn't. This industry is never going to be one robot talking to another robot.
No.
You're always.
We have to have people talking to people.
It's complex. This is a complex industry.
It is.
And it takes the human brain to.
But it's a small industry that is very focused on relationships and trust.
So, trust, that's a big thing. Let's just talk about NAWLA going forward and are there any initiatives for the industry that...
Yeah, we do a lot of things for the industry besides just the traditional face-to-face education. COVID made us become nimble. We have a lot of online learning, a lot of online networking that we didn't think we even needed or thought about 3 years ago, let's say, let alone 18 months ago. To be able to really pivot, in a sense, that's a key word now everybody uses, right?
They never missed a beat.
Yeah, to not miss it. And we're looking at, we have a great young professionals program we're putting together right now.
Yeah.
We have a scholarship program we're putting together. We're getting more engagement from that next generation who come through the industry right now, who are not only going to be future leaders of NAWLA, but they're going to be future leaders in their companies.
Absolutely. But I think one thing that COVID did is it brought knowledge to the forefront, that people learned that it is more than the trader's market.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they learned all the things that NAWLA does and offers, because a lot of it has become virtual. So more people are using the technology, the webinars, sales advantage. They want to go to the things that they're seeing were offered that they really didn't pay attention to prior to COVID.
Didn't even think about it beforehand.
So we can wrap this up. You're done now, right? Your role is
Actually, I told Scott he's still got me for one more month.
I still got her on the board of directors too, so for some more time. So we're not letting her run.
Thank you for putting this on, Scott. Thank you. For me personally, the Traders Market is an amazing opportunity. I see more people here in a day and a half than I can see traveling 365 days a year.
That's the joy of the Traders.
I know I personally had conversations that changed people's minds.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
And I had my mind changed on several things just, with our platform. It's going to help us make the platform work better. So thank you to you for giving companies like us the opportunity. Thanks for sharing this with you. It's RoyOMartin. So if you want to reach out to Lori and buy a OSB, she's always there. If you have any interest in the wholesale industry, you can reach out to Scott and his team. They can always direct you to someone who will have an answer. So,
and we'll see you in Phoenix next year for Traders Market.
We're going to be in Phoenix. And then what's the Leadership Summit is?
Leadership Summit's next March in Fort Lauderdale. So
Perfect.
we've got a lot coming.
Yep, excellent.
Great.
All right, we're going to sign off.
Bye,
Thank you for paying attention. We'll see you next Friday on next Friday's Smart Market. All right, perfect.